welcome back to the 100 Horror Films in 31 Days. So, I'm combining the 28th and 29th into one video because I only got in 3 films. Saturday, I only did 1 film. I got kind of burnt out and decided to watch college football and the World Series. So, yeah, so this weekend was not a particularly productive weekend for watching films, but I did break 100, so that was the goal. So on Saturday I watched a real dud, and that is 2013's All Cheerleaders Die. Now the director of this thing, Chris Sivertson, was the writer of the screenplay for one of my favorite movies, and that's Jack Ketchum's The Lost. I would highly recommend, if any of you like American Psycho and you haven't seen The Lost with Jack Ketchum's The Lost, check it out, because I think Jack Ketchum's The Lost is even better than American Psycho. It's one of the best serial killer movies I've ever seen. Way, way up there. But unfortunately, Chris is coming off of that to this directorial film. It's terrible. And I think this film suffers from the same fate as a lot of modern day horror films, which I'm going to explain in a minute. So this film is about a bunch of 20-somethings, a group of cheerleaders. They're supposed to be in high school. I guess they're seniors in high school, but they look like they're in their 20s. Typical casting for these type of movies. You got teenagers that look like they're 25. Basically, these cheerleaders get in a fight with a group of guys from the football team. An accident happens, the cheerleaders get killed, and then they get resurrected by these Green Lantern like or diamonds or little stones. So the film goes from what you think is going to be like a slasher film to and it is a slasher film, but it's got the paranormal element in it with these Green Lantern like stones reviving the cheerleaders to exact their revenge. It's the problem with this film is the same problem I have with a lot of modern day horror films, which is the characters, you just don't care. I don't know what it is about the characters that when they're writing these scripts and storylines, but none of the characters have any redeeming values. You just don't give a shit. All you're really watching this for is to watch people get killed, because nobody in the film is likable. They're all assholes. They're all nasty personalities that they just, so you're just basically watching a series of kills. Anyway, I think that's a common problem with a lot of horror films of today. I give this a 5 out of 10. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't very good. 5 out of 10. So on Sunday I hit 100 films, and what was my 100th film? The classic John Carpenter film, The Fog. And of course I've watched this multiple times, and this Scream Factory release is outstanding. I've got the slipcover, and then I like the original artwork. I saw The Fog in the theater when it came out, and as a young 20-something myself, and I didn't particularly like it, but now it's one of my favorite films, bar none. It's I think this is honest to God a classic, and it's actually pretty impressive that Carpenter would make Halloween and then follow it up with such a great follow-up as The Thing, The Fog. I mean, I think that puts these 3 films put John Carpenter clearly, if he had done nothing else, in the upper echelons of horror directors. Of course, The Fog, many of you have already seen The Fog. It stars Hal Holbrook and Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's basically a ghost story. You've got a group of pirates that were killed, and they come back centuries later to find this gold that was taken from their ship. It's just a wonderful, haunting, visually stunning film. And they just don't make movies like this anymore. They really don't. It's a fantastic film. I give it a 9 out of 10. Every time I watch it, my rating for this thing kind of inches up and inches up. This is one of the films that just gets better and better each time I watch it. So that's The Fog. And of course, I'm not even going to speak about the freaking remake of The Fog. It's not worth the celluloid it was filmed on. Then I watched the slasher film, Daphne Zuniga and the Initiation. This Arrow release is fantastic. This is a taut little slasher film. I really like this film, and I've watched it multiple times, but I always forget the twist ending. The twist ending on this one always surprises me. It's funny, but basically Daphne Zuniga is trying to go through a sorority hazing initiation, and as part of that, because she's the daughter of a very rich father who owns this shopping mall type scenario, they stage the hazing where Daphne and these other girls have to spend the night in this shopping mall that her father owns. And of course there's a bunch of subplots that result in a slasher running around trying to kill them during the night. And there's some pretty decent kills in this. So I give it a 7 out of 10. I think The Initiation is a worthwhile slasher film. As far as special features, you got a 2K restoration from the original camera negative. You've got an audio commentary with Hysteria Continues, which I think that their podcast is very entertaining. You've got an interview with the writer Charles Pratt, interview with actor Christopher Bradley, interview with actress Joy Jones, an extended scene, theatrical trailers, etc. And actually, there's a little booklet with a little short overview of the film itself. Yeah, I'm at 2 or 3 pages basically, but it's a good little Arrow release. I enjoy it. I would definitely recommend, if you're a slasher fan, if you don't have this in your collection, you definitely need to. Alright, well that'll wrap up day 28 and 29. My plan is to try to hit the 30th and 31st pretty hard and finish strong, but I'm at 101 films, so I achieved my objective. But I'm going to keep going. Thanks for watching.